Hello, it's DurgaMata, and it's Sunday, the 10th of May. And in America, it's Mother's Day, and I've just had a message from my daughter saying, Happy Mother's Day. So, Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who is a mother. And today, as you see, I'm wearing the dressing gown my daughter gave me with the monkeys on it. I'm very fond of it. You can actually put the hood up as well. It's got a hood. It's very nice for doing my meditation when it's a chilly day. And I usually do my meditation when I wake up. Just wash my face, brush my hair, brush my teeth. And instead of doing my meditation this morning, because I got a bit late, I came straight to doing my live. And I'm trying to remember to look at the camera. So I'll just show you another thing. On the bed, my 4 cats are all here with me. There's Sherpa licking Misty, there's Bella at the back, and there's a little Lupin close by. And you can see I don't have a very tidy bedroom, but I was up till after midnight stitching the silk to for the next cards onto a frame, and I'll give you a quick cards update. I had a delivery of the blank cards which have apertures, and I put the cards into, and this one has a rectangular aperture, and I was able to fit the lotus in, which was too big for the previous ones. And I did this one and the kite, the Palestine kite. This one I would normally add a few spots, but I'm going to be selling some today. So if it sells without the spots, I'll do it without the spots. Those are 2 sisters, because they're ones that are quite popular, so I did 2 of them. This is one using some of the little pieces. And those are the cards I've got ready for selling today. So that's the update on the art side. And we've been joined by Blurry Lines Binansi. Hi, welcome. And my videos, my morning lives that I'm trying to do are to make a bit more peace and happiness in the world by teaching some mindfulness. And as I've said before, mindfulness is a practice that everybody can learn, and it's proven to make a really strong difference to your life, increasing happiness, reducing stress. And scientists can actually see a change in the structure of our brain if you practice for just 10 minutes a day for 5 days. Obviously, to keep going longer, Atom Holistic. So if you keep practicing for longer than 5 days, the changes in the structure of your brain that make you happier and more peaceful and more on top of stress will increase and increase. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is a bird with 2 wings, and the first wing is bring your attention to here and now at this moment in time and simply observe what it's like to be you. So you notice where you are, what you're doing, what you're thinking, and what you're feeling. And there are 2 ways of being a mindfulness bird. Or the second wing of the mindfulness bird is your attitude. And the attitude is kindly, compassionate, very like almost scientifically aware and noticing what's going on in your life and in yourself very strongly. Yay, Bella, come here. Bella's just coming to sit on my lap. Ah, you're a lovely girl. There's a Bella. Look at Bella. Here, Bella. There you go. Bella is my own cat. The others are her nieces. Her mum was their grandma, and they were bought by somebody who's had to move and can't keep them, so they've come back to me to get back to mindfulness. Mindfulness is a bird with 2 wings. First being like almost stepping outside of yourself and looking at yourself in a observant way, what it actually is like, feeling like to be yourself here and now. And the other wing of the mindfulness bird is your attitude, which is kindly, self-giving, self-loving, compassionate, curious, and no criticism or judgment. And that's the most important thing, because what happens with mindfulness is you notice you're here and now and you're doing a good job, and I'm here and now, I can notice where I am. I'm in my bedroom myself, and what you're doing, I'm stroking the cat, I'm doing a live, and how you're feeling, what you're thinking, all here and now. And then suddenly you notice that your mind has drifted off or bounced away, got caught by something, and you might think, oh, I'm no good at mindfulness. Look, I can't even stay here and now for a minute. But that's judgment. So then you say, oh no, I'm no good at mindfulness. I'm so judgmental. But the secret is to be playful and compassionate. You are moving from where you are here and now, the stage of life you're at, to where you need to be. And every time you notice your mind going off somewhere else, and you bring it back to here and now, that is the actual exercise. That's like lifting the weights, if you like. You want to get strong muscles, you have to go to the gym, lift weights, and only if you lift the weights a lot do your muscles get stronger. So only if you notice your mind buzzing off somewhere else and bring it back to here and now, do you get stronger and more capacity at mindfulness and more peace of mind and more command over your reactions to the crazy stresses of life. Right, so that's what mindfulness is. And the second thing is that I was deciding to actually share a poem. I practice meditation and my teacher has written thousands and thousands of poems. So the poem I'm going to share with you is one that my daughter and I both like. She was upset one day we were on WhatsApp, she's in India, and she was telling me a certain problem she'd got, and I was giving her good advice, and she said something derogatory about her capacity, and how come that I'm so cool on these things. And I said, well, I have been practicing a little bit longer than you, and I actually knew my spiritual teacher personally, and he knew me personally for many years. She's only met him a few times, and why should she think she can be as good on dealing with things in a cheerful way and not getting disheartened? We have to accept where we are and who we are with a kind and loving attitude. We're not expected to be perfect. We're human beings. We're on a journey, and each moment of the journey is part of the destination. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but anyway, this is the poem that I sent her, and she liked it, and we're both determined to learn it, because if you memorize things, they become part of your life. You don't have to look them up in a book or check out on YouTube or something, or go on Google. You can just shut your eyes or even do it with your open eyes and remember. So this is the poem. It's called Yet You Are Fond of Me. God, I am absent-minded, yet you are fond of me. God, I am negligent, yet you are fond of me. God, I am insecure, yet you are fond of me. God, I am impure, yet you are fond of me. God, why are you so fond of me? My child, I am fond of you because you try, because you cry. And I think this kind of cry is aspiration, when we have an inner longing and an inner, a real cry from our heart to be more how we want to be more divine, if you like, to be more spiritually wise and strong. It's not like a desire like, oh, I want a new car or something like that. It's much more from the heart, and it's much less material. It's like having an inner goal that you're striving for. So that's the poem, and that's the background to mindfulness. And then Today's exercise in mindfulness, yesterday we did an exercise using sight, and today I'm going to use an exercise using hearing. So the first thing when I want to do an exercise, a mindfulness exercise, is to find somewhere comfortable and fairly peaceful where I can sit without being disturbed, hopefully, for maybe between, I say, 2 to 10 minutes to start with. And if you get good at doing it for 10 minutes, you'll probably find you can go on for longer. But the mind is very restless. If you tell it, I'm only going to sit here for 2 minutes, then it tends not to bother you so much. If you try and sit for longer and you're not so experienced, your mind's going to bother you a lot more. Hey, bees. So you're just in time. I'm going to do an exercise, mindfulness exercise based on hearing today. And the first thing is sit somewhere peaceful and sit with your back straight, your head up. Imagine there's a thread lifting your head towards the ceiling or towards the sky. And then I like to start with having a bit of a stretch and a twist so that my body feels acknowledged and happy. And then take your attention to your body and notice how solid and warm it is and how your weight presses down on the floor or whatever you're sitting on. Take your attention to your breath and make it a little bit more gentle and deep. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And then when I'm doing an exercise using the sense of sound, of hearing, I usually close my eyes because it helps me concentrate. So I'm now listening. And my room is upstairs in a quiet house on a quiet road. I can hear a little sound of the cat's breathing. Hear the noise of my sneeze. They're sleeping, so it's not exactly a purr. Hear my tummy rumble. When you're doing a listening exercise, I recommend that you notice what's the most far away sounds that you can hear. And if you can hear any sounds from inside your own body. I noticed a slight movement on the bed. So I opened my eyes and I'll just show you. It's Lupin. And she's washing herself. The others are sleeping. My mind went away from the exercise. Do you notice that? So I give myself a smile. Come on, back to listening. Close your eyes and listen. If you're sitting somewhere where you can hear traffic, don't just think, oh, I can hear traffic. Notice whether the vehicle is passing by smoothly or maybe slowing down, changing its speed. Notice if it's a heavy vehicle or a light vehicle, maybe a bus, or maybe a car, maybe a motorbike. They all have different sounds. lorries. Are there any sounds of traffic? Maybe a horn hooting or a door slamming where somebody's parked. If you can hear any people, are you near enough to hear footsteps? Are they talking? Do they sound happy or sad? Maybe angry or having an argument? I heard the sound then of paper crackling because Lupin sat down on the cards and she's purring now. The others are still sleeping. Do you hear any airplanes? Are you somewhere peaceful in nature? Can you hear any birds singing? Is there any sound of wind? If you're in nature, there may be the sound of the wind in the trees. Bye, bees. Nice to see you. And then, when you're ready to finish your little mindfulness exercise, bring your attention back to your breath. The inhale and the exhale. And to your body. Have a little bit of stretch. Wriggle your fingers about your toes. Twist your back. And then, I'm not sure how I'll do this today because the cat's on my lap, but I'll try. Rub your hands together. Create a little bit of warmth from friction. This is my way of doing mindfulness. It's not anybody else's, but it's what I like. Hold your face. Feel that sense of self-love and gratitude. Gratitude for life itself and for the new day. And for the fact that you're aware of the need for mindfulness and you're giving yourself the time for it. Give yourself a smile. Gratitude for your life. And I'll just finish with one thing. I was thinking about a story that comes from Zen Buddhism. There was a master who had a fairly young disciple. They went for a walk in the forest. And after a while, they sat down to have whatever they'd got for their food. And sitting quietly under the tree, the new disciple said to his master, "How do I enter into Zen, into the state of meditation really, which is being here and now in the present moment with no distractions and no thoughts?" You can find your own definition of Zen, but that's my idea of what it is. And the master said, "Can you hear the mountain stream?" The new disciple said, No, can't hear any stream. No streams nearby. And the Master said, listen, listen. And far, far away in the distance, there was the sound of moving water from a distant stream. And after some time of intense, concentrated listening, the new disciple, wow, yes, I can hear it. And his Master said, enter Zen from there. And after a while they went on with their walk. And the new disciple was really happy because he felt he knew what he was doing, to really be able to concentrate and listen like that. But then he started having other thoughts, and he said, Master, what would you have said if I couldn't hear the stream? It was very distant, it was very hard to hear. And the Master said, I'd have said, enter Zen from there. In other words, whatever you're experiencing at this moment, with full concentration and attention, that's where your, if you like, your enlightenment begins. We don't have to wait. We're not on a journey where we wait until we reach a particular place when we discover who we are and discover the great wonder of enlightenment. It's in each moment. It's in the journey where we happen to be now. It's even in the cats who are now all sleeping on the bed. I'm pretending to be a drone. Floating over the cards. I'll finish with just best wishes for a very happy Mother's Day. And thank you for joining me this morning. Lots of love. And I wonder if Atma Holistic is still here, and if Blurry Lines is still here. And I know that Biz said she had to go, but I'm really grateful for you to join me in this mindfulness journey. The world's a bit crazy at the moment, so this is my way to try to spread a little bit more happiness, a little bit more inner peace and love. And that's the only way that I know how we can make the world a happier place. It's just through who we are and what we do and what we share with each other. And that has to begin with taking care of your own inner life. And I'm just going to take a quick screenshot, hopefully it recorded, so that I have a record of who joined. Because the first times I did it, I didn't have, and I couldn't trace people afterwards and thank them for coming. So that is my message for today. Happy day. Bye. Lots of love.